The Cone XTD Max Customization Gaming Mouse.
Hello and welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague for another day of great games. If you're not familiar with the DreamLeague, it's $50,000 in prize money. 6 of the best teams are playing to compete over 3 weeks to make the playoffs, which will be at DreamHack Winter, and that will be where the finals conclude live. As you can see, we've only just woken up here. It's actually in Sweden, the time zone's very different. It's about 6 a.m. in the morning. Not sure where it is where you are, but that's where we are now. But we've still got 3 great games coming your way, and we can kick it off with Team Liquid versus Alliance is going to be the first match you'll see today. It's burgers versus meatballs. Our production team's running out of ideas, but there we have it. America versus Sweden. That's all we've got for you there, but in reality, that is an absolutely fantastic match, and Team Liquid only having played 1 game and already lost it. We'll see how they do. Then we're going to move on to the Eastern rivalry, Na'Vi versus Virtus Pro. And once again, we've got more stories around Virtus Pro. A new team member will be joining them today from an ex-professional team, you can say. And we'll see how that one turns out. Na'Vi desperately needs some wins. And our third match will be ROG versus Drago. EG versus Virtus Pro. So VP twice today. Even though Drago, he was Russian in the movie, the Rocky movie, but he's actually Swedish. And that is going to be our 3 matches. So some great matches, guys. And welcome to the studio as well, Bruno, Andy, and Pyrian. How are you doing today?
I will break you. That's Ivan Drago.
You know he's Swedish, the
Yeah.
actor.
I stood behind him in a cash point queue in London one time.
Really?
True.
Yeah. Was he as big as he looks?
He's not as tall as he looks on film, because
Really?
Stallone is like not a big guy.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of short, actually.
Quite short, but you know, he's kind of like looks like I will break you, and then he says it. He's like a piece of iron after a while when he can't break him. I might have seen that movie a few times.
It's a pretty good movie in your defense. No, he is. Compared to Rocky 5.
If I could change, if you could change, maybe we could all change. Yeah.
How are you
Even
doing?
Drago there.
How are you doing, Andy?
Did fine.
I'm good. Ready to go. Ready for the Rocky versus Drago match, clearly.
Can you do a Stallone?
No, I can't.
Neither
I can do some impressions, not a
Stop me.
Stallone. So it's just like, you can embarrass yourself
That's
for
right,
me.
I don't
That
care.
way I don't
Yeah,
have
I'll
to
take-
do it.
I'll take it, I'll
yeah,
take
you
it,
take
yeah.
the shot,
Yeah.
so it's good.
All right, and so we can take a look at the standings as well, just to see how it's all kind of panned out over the last 2 days. This is the 3rd day today, so already Fnatic are 3-0. Now, they're going to play a total of 10 games, Fnatic, but the fact is they've beaten Alliance and Na'Vi in those games. One game versus Alliance, twice versus Na'Vi. They're looking absolutely great. Alliance, on the other hand, they're 2-1. Na'Vi not doing so well here. They're actually 1-3, and they're going to be going up versus Team Liquid first, so they really need to start getting some wins under their belts. EG will be having their debut performance here today, so currently sat on all 0s. Virtus Pro not doing so well, I would say, overall, but today it might be different because they're bringing in another player to replace Krill, who replaced Solo, which is Blow Your Brain, who plays carry, which was the main concern we had at the desk, was Light of Heaven and his carry role wasn't working out. And we'll get to see if they're going to be able to fix their problems by the end of today. And of course, right at the bottom is going to be Team Liquid, having lost their first game versus Na'Vi. So they're going to go up versus Alliance. So they've got some tough games ahead of them for day 2, 3, and 1. Day 1 and 3, tough games.
Tough games, indeed. And I mean, Liquid right now, you were talking about how Na'Vi needs some wins, but also Liquid. I mean, they only played 1 game, So it's fine if you just lose the first one, you can win the next 9 and be the first in the league. But realistically, they need to start winning the matches that they can win, that they secure. And going against Na'Vi, it's kind of what Fnatic did as well. If they say we can beat them, then suddenly it becomes a different thing, and they can just show that they're contenders for the title.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think of Alliance, guys? Because we're going to have them today, and we had them yesterday as well.
I think Alliance is still looking to be in really good shape. I don't think we can take anything away from them as a team just because Fnatic beat them, because let's be honest, Fnatic right now look like the favorite.
Actually, Alliance defeated Fnatic today for another tournament. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what I get for sleeping until 4:30 in the afternoon.
I thought it was 6 a.m.
Nobody was paying attention.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of yesterday, that was when Alliance did come out and won 1 game versus Na'Vi, and that was their only game they played. But we can take a look at the highlights of the game, and it really was all about Admiral Bulldog. And we can go into the match, which was called the El Clasico, Alliance versus Na'Vi. Now, getting a win here for either one of these teams was huge, and you can see the fight where they go for S4 mid. Admiral Bulldog's like, well, here's my ulti. And already starts off with, I believe, somewhat near a triple kill. He ended up with almost 3 triple kills during the game. Puppy comes in with a nice black hole. This was a good kind of turnaround. Ake didn't actually cancel his TP in, but Admiral Bulldog again, he's like, I'm really good at pressing R.
Yeah, but he teleports up to behind enemy lines, which is actually a really nice move, and end up cleaning up everyone here. EGM comes in from the side, throws out a spirit. He gets a triple at this point in the game, and just in case people didn't catch this, at the end of the beginning of the game, 15 minutes in, he had Phase Boots, Midas, Shadowblade, and like 2,700 gold. It was unreal how much farm he had.
Didn't he get 2 triple kills and 2 double kills, I believe?
Yeah.
Slam.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he was really on point and got out of control. And he actually ended up going into a Necro book a little bit later, and Alliance really just controlled the map, got the split push going, and they won all their team fights as well from there on in. So Admiral Bulldog completely out of control yesterday, played pretty damn amazing.
But we've talked about Na'Vi's draft quite a bit, and doesn't seem like it's going the way
to
that
be
we
fair,
would think it would be
I think
going.
that particular game wasn't necessarily a draft issue so much as it was just like, I felt they were getting out of position a lot, and I felt like the support movement out of Ake and EGM was just on a different level. And I guess in a way a draft can kind of open those opportunities for you if you're a support, but I still feel as though the movement overall in Alliance is just on a level higher right now.
All right, well, speaking of Na'Vi in their draft, they had to do 2 more bans and picks because they had 2 more games afterwards, and it was both of them versus Fnatic. It was the double header. We can take a look at the highlights, and you can see we want to talk about Na'Vi and what they're doing well, because we're going to see them today, but it was all about Fnatic. Yesterday, Fnatic, after beating Alliance on day 1, on day 2, they literally came out and just said, we're top of the scoreboard, 3-0, and everything they did just worked out amazing. Even here, you can see Hani being able to pick up Kurokai. His team comes in, boat does land, and they clean up that fight.
Kurokai just didn't have a good day yesterday. We saw him lifting creeps with Rubik twice during the game.
Blink and lift, by the way. Blink into lift creep.
Yeah, that was just one of... I mean, he's a really strong Rubik normally, but that was not his day. Maybe they need a little bit more out of him. In either case, no one from Na'Vi was at their top shape.
Yeah, and we have to say, the Enigma didn't really work out for him here. Hani,
But they keep sticking with it.
They did.
Like,
This was the one fight they actually had, though, because Puppy turns here, gets a 3-man black hole, Kuro stole boat, they throw it and they clean everyone up. But the problem is Fnatic are already so far ahead at this stage in the game that it just doesn't matter, and then we moved on to game 2.
Yeah, game 2, Fnatic went for the Wisp CK combo. There wasn't going to be an Enigma in this match. They did drop that, the Puppy playing the Lich, but the Wisp CK so strong when you get slightly ahead, and that's what's happened again to Fnatic. They got ahead and they stayed ahead. Havost on his Weaver during game 2 had some questionable plays. He was able to get I would say 1 or 2 nice pickoff, but really he was getting shut down and dying on that Weaver where he could not afford to die. He needed items, he wasn't able to get them, and you can see here, this is just Wisp CK at its strongest. Just being able to TP in, pick up anybody you want. Trixie gonna scout out the Doom, played by Funnick, and in come Era and Notel. And really, Fnatic were running on all cylinders yesterday.
Yeah, I think Na'Vi kind of gave him that second game, though. And that was the one for me that I think was more draft-oriented in the first game. They picked a Doom into a Bounty Hunter they knew was going to go into a 1v1. They didn't have anything going into that game at all. Like, just from the landing phase, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, it's a 2-1-2 from Fnatic, a style they're super comfortable with. And then Na'Vi picked something that, like the Doom for me, not even really in their comfort zone. I don't know. I just felt like it was behind from the get-go.
And also a carry Doom, which,
Yeah.
as we talked yesterday, sometimes you pick a Doom in the jungle and you still get a carry just so that the Doom can get a mech and just something that helped the team. And then he can transition into more of a carry position. But you still have that one guy that will get the farm, will try to go aggressive into late game. When you put the Doom in the one position, it becomes so much harder, and it didn't work for them.
Yeah, they needed their Weaver Havos to be a little bit bigger, but we will be seeing Na'Vi today as well. They'll be going up against VP. That will be the second game. But first, let's get to the first match, which is going to be Team Liquid versus Alliance. Burgers versus meatballs. I'd still fancy a burger. I know Swedish meatballs are great. Don't hate on me.
They are pretty good, actually.
It's the sauce.
As an American, I can honestly say that they're good.
The sauce makes them for me.
Yeah.
The berry sauce.
Have you had meatballs while you've been in Sweden yet, Pyrian? Have you found
No, but I
time?
had a burger last night. So yeah, but that was about it. But yeah, no, I'm going to try the meatballs when I head into historic Stockholm.
Oh yeah,
this
yeah.
weekend.
Going to take you down to Old Town over the weekend. Of course, we're here from Monday to Thursday the first week, and second week and third week, I do believe we're here from Monday to Wednesday. So plenty of matches still to come. And speaking of plenty of matches still to come, if you want to support the league, DreamHack, ASUS ROG, Good Studio, Pyrian's family, you can buy an in-game ticket, $9.99, and you get to watch the match in-game of your own accord. You can follow the follow the in-game observer, which is Wepaz if you want, or control the camera yourself if you want to follow a specific player. But you also get a Spirit Breaker set to boot, and that will be coming in hopefully later this evening when Volvo get it working.
Yeah.
So
Come on,
that'll be
Volvo.
good.
Please.
That's yeah. I've worked on that Spirit Breaker set myself with Omar, and I really, really want it in game as well. That's the first hero I'm going to play when I get it.
Can I get one?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Awesome.
That's recorded. Yeah, we got that.
Oh shit, that's legal. Yeah. All right, so let's meet the first team. It's going to be Team Liquid, and the 5 members that complete the Team Liquid roster are going to be Koiva, TZ, Bulba, Fluff and Stuff, and Way Too Sexy. We've only seen played one game thus far in the tournament, guys, and they dropped it, and now they're up versus Alliance, which came in the favorites.
Well, for me, Team Liquid, even though they lost, I don't feel like they went down without a fight. I don't feel like it was totally outdrafted or totally just got steamrolled. I feel as though they put up a lot of really good team fights. They showed they have the coordination. If they had a little bit better of a start of the game, I'd say their laning phase and early game is probably the biggest weakness that they had. I think they can definitely feel the fight against Alliance here.
They were at a clear advantage at one point in the game versus Na'Vi. They were pushing mid, and they had the tier 2 tower. Unfortunately, a very bad engagement with Enigma Papi there costed them the game pretty much, because after that, Na'Vi started getting everything in their favor, and just Liquid couldn't get back into the game.
Speaking of laning phases, for him, one of the guys that is going to be important is going to be Bulba. We could talk a little bit about him. So as a mid player for Team Liquid, how do you think he is performing, even though you've seen him one game, but what are your expectations?
Well, I mean, I like Bulba. He's a nice guy, and I think he's a good player. He's exciting to watch. I mean, I saw his clockwork was mainly the thing I remember him for TI3, and it was insanely good. But yeah, as a mid, I guess we'll see. I haven't seen much of him playing mid, I must say, so I look forward to it.
Andy, you know this guy pretty well in his mid plays.
He has really high highs.
Where do you rate him?
I'd say he's definitely top tier, like probably top 10 in my opinion in terms of solo players. And like I said, really high highs when he gets rolling, like in Heroes Like Clockwork, he just hits everything. Everybody remembers the game at TI where they played against LGD. It was like unbelievable performance. So if he can bring that kind of game, I definitely put him up there with anybody like S4, Dendi, you name it.
I have an extra question for you.
Yes.
Will he pick Disruptor mid this game?
I want him to, because he talks it up so much. Every time you talk to Sam, he's just like, oh man, Disruptor mid, so good. Out harasses even Queen of Pain, which he does at level 1. Shadow Strike does less damage than Thunderstrike. And your lane presence is good. You can glimpse for rune control. There's so many things you can get away with. And they buffed Kinetic Field a couple patches ago. Now you're going to have things like Aghanims 2, which is an AoE Doom. The only question I have with that is it's 4,200 gold for that item. Is getting a Force Staff or Mech or something else better? I think you'd have to really pick around that hero if you wanted to run him.
Get Ags.
Just get Ags. Just get it.
Get
Nothing else.
question.
No
No mech Ags or something like
Rush
that?
Ags.
Force Staff Ags, mech Ags,
Rush Ags.
Rush Ags.
No
Boots?
no GG branches, nothing. No boots, nothing.
No
If
tangos.
someone can you just glimpse them back. Get the Ags.
All right, well, see if that's going to be the case. And if they're going to be able to glimpse away their team if they do pick up the Disruption, which is going to be Alliance. And Alliance have been playing pretty up and down, I would say, throughout the tournament thus far. Yesterday they had a great performance. They did drop versus Fnatic. It's Admiral Bulldog, Loda, S4, Ake, and EGM that make up the team. And for me, they were meant to come into this tournament this league being the strongest, and so far Fnatic have taken that title. So what have you noticed about Alliance coming into the ASUS ROG DreamLeague?
I feel like a lot of teams, even Alliance, are suffering from a 6.79 adaptation period. I think maybe one of the only teams that was almost exempt from that was Fnatic, just because they had run 2-1-2 since ages ago. You know, they were so comfortable with it. But everyone else, Alliance specifically, they suffer from the 1-1-3 syndrome of playing really greedy and trying to make that transition into a 2-1-2 sort of meta. And EGM, the player that I want to look at the most, I mean, we saw him on the screen a second ago, but his support play and his awareness on the map makes the transition for Alliance easier, in my opinion, because between him and Ake, unbelievable support duos. So that's like the stars for me today.
Well, I have to say, to actually on the other side of EGM, when he played yesterday, he played Lina, I do believe, and he was playing that pretty aggressive. So
but they knew
is this overconfidence from EGM?
I think they knew the engagements going in. In that particular game, we pointed out the fact that if he eats all the abilities, it's actually not that bad because he gets his spells off in the engagement. Anyway, you throw your Laguna, you throw your stun, your damage is dealt. And then you have the opening for other heroes like Loda. I think he was playing Lifestealer that game, so where he can go in and do his own business because I'm pretty sure they had a clockwork on the opposition. So in some ideas, it is actually a technical feed, like if you want to call it that or, you know, whatever term you want to brand it. But I still feel like he played fine.
All right, well, we'll have to see what they come up with today because we're going to go into the match, which will be Team Liquid versus Alliance. And to bring you the game, of course, is going to be Andy, joined by Pyrian and Bruno. So I'll see you guys after the match, and I hope you at home enjoy it.
All right, it's the first game of the day. Team Liquid taking on Alliance, and we have the first pick going to Alliance here. They're going to be playing Radiant, Pyrian, no Lich ban yet. Are we going to see it?
Oh, wow.
You guys can't see it yet, but as soon as I said that,
my
the Lich
prediction
was
is
picked
we will see a Lich.
more or less instantly, and the immediate follow-up of the Chen and Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Super fast draft. And now this means Team Liquid wants to play aggressive right now. Timbersaw can go into the mid position. He can go into the off lane. But with that and a Chen is good for pushing. Timbersaw doesn't do anything to building, but just his zoning abilities. The fact that you can't get close to defending that tower because you'll have the chakram spinning right there. You can Timber Chain and then Whirling Death. It deals how much damage? Like 3,000, right?
A lot, like 1 million at least.
10 seconds
I think.
remaining.
It's 1 million. Million and change.
The cool thing is once you get to level 16 on Timbersaw is you can
5
instantly kill
seconds
creep waves, which is Chakram and Whirling Death. So deep pushing, that's a really good thing to have right now in the way that people play because you see a lot of early push with things like Nature's Prophet. Chen has actually not been seen as much because he's more of a ganky kind of a jungler who then goes on to push a lane, where you see more Enigma instead, who is the one who kind of sits, farms, does his own thing. But we can see Timbersaw, he's kind of a 50-50 hero, but I think it's more about what kind of team you put behind him because if he has a good early mid game, you can just dominate on your own.
Yes, and also, what do you think is better? Do you think you can put Timbersaw in the offlane and get away with it the same way you do when you put him mid? Or do you think it's just more of a mid hero and the offlane should not be for him?
I think offlane's fine, honestly. He's very hard to take down. And because people are leaning less towards tri-lanes nowadays, you're not going to get effectively zoned nearly as often as you might have even seen him in the past, back in 6.78. So I think regardless of whether or not you put him mid, you're going to be getting a lot out of the hero. Levels-wise is probably the most important part. But you also have to remember, he does want a item. Like Bloodstone is typically the go-to. You get your Arcane Boots and you kind of go from there. But Alliance, they're sticking to what they know, man. Nature's Prophet and Lich.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Which is, I mean, we're saying about Timbersaw, you can put him in the off lane because he's tough to kill. But if you don't need to be as defensive in the off lane anymore because you're probably going to be up against a 2 instead of a 3, do you need to stick him in the off lane? He doesn't need benefit from being mid, getting the runes, getting some early ganks and stuff like that. Wouldn't that be good to get him to? Because if he snowballs, he's a nightmare.
Well, here's the thing with Timber. If you put him mid, a lot of mid players, what they'll do is they'll go 1 to 2 reactive armor, depending on what matchup they have. If it's heavy harass, they go 2.
Right.
If it's not so much, they might put an extra point into Timber Chain. But the thing is, you usually get 2 points into Whirling Death, which means at level 6, you're going to be 2-2-1 and then Chakram. So your kill potential isn't really that high as a roaming mid. You're more there for soaking the experience and getting the levels. But if you put it in the off lane, because you yourself said that you don't really need a hero that durable, you can play more aggressive in the off lane due to that. You can go for solo kills on supports, really squishy ones like CM. If you mistime your bite and he doesn't get his Timber Chain off yet and then he uses it, you can get chased down and just die.
Right, right.
And now you see this Nature's Prophet here against the Timbersaw. Let's say, hypothetically, one of these heroes that normally can go to the offlane or mid they match up against each other.
Well, I think Timber is immune basically to Nature's Prophet's
exactly.
damage. Yeah.
The thing is, Nature's Prophet, if you are a hero that laning 1v1 against him, he wants to harass you with the trees.
Yeah.
The trees deal as much damage as a normal creep, I think.
21 to 23.
Yeah, which is pretty much the
Nothing.
same.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, he won't be able to do that much damage to Timber. So since every hit, you get 1 HP regen per second that lasts for, I want to say, more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Let's see. Bam. 16 seconds, actually. So yeah, it's really long. Pretty good.
Yeah, so that means that every single hit will be offset by the regen, pretty much.
Yeah, and if you have a stout, the hit's almost completely negated anyway, and then you actually just get health back. Like, a lot of times people make jokes like, oh, I'm healing this guy when I hit him, but you might actually end up healing Timbersaw if you harass with trees in that lane.
Reserve time.
So now we're waiting for the next patch to the next patch, to the next hero. Yeah, the next patch as well.
Yeah, next patch.
I want 680, but no, the next hero to see. An Alliance is banning the Pugna. By banning the Pugna, they're saying we don't want the push. And now this hero has come into the metagame as a pushing hero as well. Saying we don't have Pugna, you are Team Liquid, you want to push, what do you go for?
Well, if you continue to push, it depends on if they want to put Timbersaw mid or not. I think if you're Team Liquid, you want to put him against Prophet because of the reasons that we just talked about. So if we're looking for kind of a push, I still think that getting an aggressive initiator against Alliance is good because it's really easy to just say, you know, we want to pick something that can mow down towers, but in reality, that's not really going to help you if you don't have any form of initiation or you don't have as big of a threat. I think things like Death Prophet could be viable for Team Liquid's kind of a strategy because you already have a really strong frontline hero. You have a Chen to back it up with Hand of God. You can do sendbacks and things like that. Timbersaw can play very aggressive with that kind of a team, and then you can just force engagements around towers, or you can go for something like Puck, where you can just say, we're going to go for a pick, or if they try to defend this tower with our Chen push, we're just going to fight you behind it and go for kills.
Perfect. Now, continuing that line of thought.
Team Liquid's turn.
Team Liquid bans the Viper.
Crystal Maiden.
Is Viper really strong against Timbersaw mid?
He's good against Timbersaw and Death Prophet and Puck. He's actually good against all three because Kurosa's skin is enough of a harassment utility that anytime you do anything like Crypt Swarm, you're going to take damage. Puck can't trade with the Viper at all, and obviously Timbersaw's melee. And mid, you're not going to use Timber Chain because there's no trees to latch to. So you're going to be in a really bad situation no matter what, and a lot of players are actually going for the 1-1-3 or 1-1-4. Poison Attack doesn't have a cooldown anymore at level 1, so there's less of an incentive to level it during the laning phase. So you're more opted to get things like Nether Toxin or Kurosa's Skin depending on your matchup. And Alliance, they're going with the greedy carry here. They're picking up a Luna when they already have Nature's Prophet and Lich. And this is, I want to say standard Alliance because they always pick greedy.
Yep.
But Luna, they're going to be really confident in their lane. And they've already seen a CM and a Timbersaw, two really strong laners coming out from Liquid. So I do feel like they have a chance to punish that.
At the same time, when you have a Leech, you can get away with being a little bit more greedy if you're careful enough. I mean, the problem with Leech is that because you push the lane towards your favor, you have to be careful not to get dived under your tower. But at the same time, you will outlevel them and you will outfarm them. And that's where maybe Luna getting a faster level 6 can get a solo kill in the lane, make something happen, and just punish the fact that she will probably get the level 6 1 minute before the other guys.
I think that's why the change to Frost Armor is so good as a Lich player, because I can get an early level in that if I'm really in trouble, stick it on myself, and even the ranged heroes can't chase me under the tower anymore, which is great, because I hate that.
I hate getting towered of too.
It sucks.
It's like the worst feeling in the world. And you're like, team? And then nobody TPs, and you're like, God, I hate this game.
It's just a Lich, let him die.
Yeah, I've actually been there. I've been there, but in a carry role, which is even worse because when you die, and this is like, okay, no one's actually helping me here.
TP. Sorry.
What a life. So Team Liquid, they're looking at possibly a carry, possibly a mid. I'm still thinking this is an off-lane Timbersaw, or maybe a safe lane Timbersaw. Maybe they want to go for an aggressive tri-lane after seeing the Luna. Honestly, Chen with a Crystal Maiden +1, that's really scary for Luna to farm against. And like you said, Lich pulls the lane towards your tower, which can make diving really easy if you have a Chen creep. So maybe Team Liquid look to change this up, put one top, one mid, and potentially a tri-lane bottom. Oh, wow, they pick up Clinks.
Clinks.
You know, I actually like this because Clinks is a hero who takes advantage of situations where heroes are typically spread out. You know, Nature's Prophet's going to be side lane pushing. Luna is more or less going to be farming. Maybe one support's going to be nearby. But now, if the Clinks has a good start, which against any of these matchups, he's going to be more than fine in. If he's against Prophet, he can harass with Searing Arrows. Sure, the trees are going to be a bit more annoying, but it's not going to be as terrifying as I think a lot of heroes would have a problem with. And then once he gets 6, he never has to go back, because he'll probably have some regeneration from Sage's Masks going towards that Orchid. He can just death pack creeps, and he can just sustain forever, get his Orchid, and try to make things happen. And Alliance's answer is going to be the Magnus. So that's their teamfight utility. They sorely needed.
At the same time, Magnus, isn't this kind of a bait? Come on, put this Timbersaw mid. Because Timbersaw does pretty well versus Magnus.
Timbersaw does well versus all melee.
But if Timbersaw goes mid, then that means he's not going to the Luna lane. And maybe that makes the Luna lane a little bit easier. Maybe this is kind of a pick, saying just try and play the way we want you to play. Because if the Magnus loses the lane, it doesn't really matter that much. He will get level 6. Might not get some far. Maybe the Blink Dagger is delayed 5 minutes. But with all the rest of the team going around, could work.
Yeah, it could work. I think it's possible. The big thing for me is a Magnus needs to be absolutely crushed. You know, you want to have something like a Queen of Pain against a Magnus just so he feels scared to even go to creeps. I don't know if Timbersaw is going to have that much of an impact against him. You can dodge Whirling Death fairly reliably and just use things like Shockwave to go for CS instead. And I don't know how mismatched it's going to be. I still think Timbersaw wins, but I don't know if it's a landslide victory. And yeah, there's the Queen of Pain.
There it goes.
So I was thinking to myself, yeah, you want that 1v1 matchup to be just an utter domination. So I'm feeling like they're just going to stick the Crystal Maiden, Clinks, and Chen together, go for an early push, and you're going to have a solo Timbersaw and a solo Queen of Pain.
I kind of like the way this looks right now.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
This looks like a good game.
Because at this point right now, you think you were saying that they were going to go aggressive in the...
I thought that they might go aggressive.
Yeah, and now Queen of Pain is traveling around the world. Yes.
Yeah.
She's just going to stay in base.
She's undecided. I'm undecided. She's undecided.
If they do go aggressive, here's the bonus, right? The Queen of Pain can go to bottom lane so easily and dive. Like, how do you protect that lane? You're going to have a Blink mid with high burst damage, a Timbersaw, a Crystal Maiden, and a Chen creep. Like, that is one of the scariest aggressive lanes that you can possibly field against a Luna who has no base health. You have no disables between EGM and Ake in this game. Gale is nice, but I don't think it's going to be able to stop that kind of a dive. However, this is all due to laning going well for Team Liquid. Like, we're assuming that their lanes are going to go reasonably well, which Magnus versus Queen of Pain on paper should be pretty good. Clinks versus the Nature's Prophet, I'd say that one's more 50-50 based on the player.
Yep.
I think maybe Prophet edges him out a bit before 6.
It's getting very complicated.
I think it's going to be Clinks off and Timber safe with CM. That's what I reckon.
You can't put you can't put Clinks offlane in my opinion, just because he absolutely needs the early game farm, and he is the core of this team. Like, he's playing the one role.
Well, okay then.
I'm just saying. I mean...
Oh, you're probably right, Andy. I guess you know more than I do about Dota.
I think you do.
I just feel bad now. I mean, look at him. I just want to like...
Bruno.
It's got... You have other talents.
I try.
Anyway, we're going to be hopping inside the game, guys. Everyone's got their heroes, so we're going to be taking a look at what lanes are going to be taking shape here. But I do love Liquid's draft quite a bit.
I think they have lane by lane the advantage here.
Yeah.
If they execute properly, which is a big if, because when you're playing against Alliance, they make things hard for you every single time. They can win this.
I do believe they can, but they are not going aggressive, by the way. So Liquid is going to be doing the safe lane try, which is fine. I mean, when you have a Clinks, you just... Above all else, you want to make sure that he finds farm. I just feel as though they don't want to do it just because of the Lich. I think that's the only thing that's setting them off, because they know that for sure, no matter how well they do in the lane, TC is not going to get full advantage of the lane, which could be a little bit of a problem, and that is probably the entire reason why they're just dodging here.
The player's wishing Bulba lots of luck in game. Have fun, Bulba. Good luck, Bulba. Oh, thanks.
Everybody loves Sam.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
He's this guy, like, when you listen to him speak, he speaks very quietly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude. Hey, Baron. Hey.
He always seems like somebody is listening to his conversations. He just walks up to you and it's just like, are you like in witness protection or something? Like, why are you not talking to me like a normal
Conspiratorial.
person?
That's how he speaks.
Hey, dude. My name's not really Sam.
That's kind of weird. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
He's like a lot of Dota players. Blitz was always telling me Dota players are very, very tactile. And he'll come up to you and he'll put his arms around you. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Like, give you a back massage and stuff. Blitz is the same.
Yep.
First time I saw Blitz, he was all over me.
Yeah.
Yeah, very touchy-feely.
Wagga has like an actual masseuse. Is it a degree? Is it a certificate? I don't know what you would call it.
He's Swedish. It's on the curriculum. I think everybody has to be able to do a massage in Sweden, right?
Well,
it's going to be a dual lane Lich Magnus versus Queen of Pain. And
well, if Alliance anticipated the dodge, this is the right call. Because you don't need the Lich in the bottom lane to help out Loda. But if the supports of Liquid start moving and they decide to go to bottom lane, then Ake is going to be forced to leave, and that forces the 1v1 against S4.
Oop.
I'm assuming that's probably what they're going to want to do here. Bottom lane, Bulba's going to get spotted out by EGM.
Oh,
he doesn't have a skill
blood.
point in yet. Yeah, he doesn't have a skill point, and he can get Timber
Poison
Chain here.
Sting level 1?
I think he does.
He surely does.
He does a heck of a lot of damage, but
that's a lot of goose.
Sam is like manning up here.
Sam, look out.
I don't think that's a worthy trade, honestly, because EGM gets more auto attacks off no matter what, and he started with 3 more hits, so not really a favorable trade if you're the Timbersaw.
But creating a lot of space for the Luna is really, really good for that Venomancer right now, and he didn't put a single point in anything, Bulba. He had everything.
Yeah, he just wants to hold it, because, I mean, he realizes now that EGM has Sting for sure, like he noticed, but anytime he goes back into trade, it's like, it's not good for him. Keep doing that.
So why not switch to reactive armor just whilst he was getting harassed in the middle of the
Because if he gets reactive and he gets zoned, EGM's going to hit level 2 before he does, which means that he'll have Gale and he won't have Timber Chain. And if he gets scaled, he could potentially die, because even though reactive is good, Lunar Blessing adds a substantial amount of damage. And if Loda's anywhere nearby, it could just be a kill.
Look at this harassment.
EGM is being so annoying, and that's EGM in a nutshell. He plays so aggressive.
You're just saying he's annoying. You're just like, he's so annoying, and that's so EGM. I think
when he plays.
I get it, I know.
He's a really nice guy. Sometimes.
Got a little smoke.
He's a friend of Blitz.
It is true.
He is.
All of Blitz's friends.
He's an FOB. He's a friend of Blitz.
Except the Draskill guy.
I play with those guys a lot. They're very nice.
Rude. Oh, very fortuitous double damage. S4 walks up there, he spots a skeleton, and he's like, uh-oh, I think there's a Chen here.
Yeah, not too sure about this.
Oh, bottom lane, Bulba taking more harass. Oh, EGM is so close to level 2.
Wow.
He is so close to level 2.
He had to use Timber Chain, and so close to level 2 as well, Timbersaw.
Yeah, I think if EGM was 2, that would have been first blood.
Yep. The thing is, right now, if Timbersaw gets to level 2, he's going to be more or less okay. The harass will not be that big.
He's got to walk home.
Yeah, he's going home.
Yeah.
Because he's out of region.
Yeah, yeah.
He only has one
dive on top lane. Oh, very nice by Admiral Bulldog. He sees it straight away. So a lot of time wasted, but first blood going to be happening in middle lane. So we're going to see S4 secure Quakefa. He ends up dropping, so Queen of Pain dies first.
Queen of Pain was playing really aggressively and just having so low life in this engagement. So a good obscure and Lich hurts.
He does.
So right now, things going well for Alliance. Lich might be saying, okay, now that we got a first blood, I can start thinking about rotating, maybe stacking something. No need for me to just stick in this lane.
Well, just look at the strength of Lich here. Is he's almost level 4, and he was in a duel mid with S4.
Yeah, he walks back out of experience range of S4 every time to make sure when he sacrifices that he gets full benefit, because S4 is going to be getting all the experience anyway from the other creep wave, so there's no reason to do it anyway else. And Bulba's just
Galed.
He is having an awful time here in this bottom lane.
I think EGM doesn't have much armor, so the creep wave hurts him.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because as soon as the creep wave clashes again, he just walks past it. Like, this is the way that you should be harassing, is you should wait until you're far enough away from the wave that you won't try.
Do you max Sting in this situation, or do you still go for wards?
I think maxing Sting is probably better for harass. Just because if you keep him at a lower threshold of HP in general, you might not kill him, but you're at least ensuring that, well, Loda's going to lane control for sure, and then he's never going to have enough health to go in to get experience, and that's what you want.
At the same time, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I think the CM has to come down here and help out, or this is just going to get ugly. You know, don't you think they should rotate someone down here to help, or do you think they should just abandon him?
Well, they have 2 lanes right now that are going not well. Like, middle got first blooded, bottom is losing. The shining hope of the team right now is TC playing on the Clinks, and he's still getting out farmed by Loda. So if the supports move, they're sacrificing a lane no matter what. I think that keeping the supports near mid or near the top side of the map to ensure that TC feels safe is probably the best bet. And middle, S4 is going to be forced to skewer away. Nice Ursa placement coming out. He gets the clap. Are they going to be able to chase him down? Way2's there. They both eat a shockwave, and
now Ake can fall as well.
Low as well. Yeah, Ake eating that Hellbear Smasher damage. There's going to be another clap in 1 second. He walks it around the tower. Quakefa blinks in. It's a double kill for Fluff. That was excellent play.
Doug Clapper with the double.
The clap. STDs given to everyone, basically. Now they got to go to a urologist. It's going to be a bad time.
There used to be a Dota 1 video series. I'm trying to remember the name, but it was all about perceiving and just guessing what the other player was going to do. So hooking where the anti-mage was going to blink to.
Yeah.
Things like that. And Chen did just that exactly.
Beautiful.
Plays,
there was the skewer just straight into the crypt. It's like he knew he was going to go there. And with that clap and the creep also tanking the tower, which is really, really useful.
Oh no, Bulba.
Bulba.
Bulba, please.
Bulba.
Oh, EGM doesn't know he's there.
Oh,
He's going to walk into him now. Okay, he's eating through the trees. He has a TP, but if he TPs now, Loda sees him.
Yep.
So as long as Loda holds Elusive Beam or kills with it, either one.
Yeah,
just Prophet ulti. Attempted KS from Bulldog. Not going to get it though.
It's fine. I mean, the best of the scenarios happened, which was EGM getting the kill.
Yeah.
Loda getting the kill would have been really bad. Bulldog getting the kill would have been pretty annoying.
But if EGM gets the kill.
EGM gets the kill, what's he going to do? He's a Venomancer. He can't go for an Orchid like he does with Windrunner.
He can go for 4 Midases though.
You know what else he could get?
Or 5.
He could get an Ags if he wanted to. But
Axe and Bale.
yeah. You get Ags on Venom, right?
Ags on Venom is actually pretty legit.
It
with
is.
The amount
His
of
ult
damage that
is
you do.
ridiculous.
Just like Enigma.
Oh, RP on middle lane. Koikfa going to be eating it solo here. Frost Blast going to be there, and the skewer to boot.
Timing.
Another kill there on Koikfa. Yeah, S4 lined that up more or less perfect, and he hit right on the edge of the RP as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, some people just RP and skewer to the tower to get an extra couple hits from the tower. But what he did this time was really interesting. He RP'd but didn't skewer. He waited and waited, and just as the RP finished, and the blink animation has actually a 0.65 second animation or something like that, he skewered. So extending the duration of the stun much more than if you would just skewer straight away.
Yeah, great.
So at this really early stage, it's pretty clear that Alliance are getting the advantage, especially since Loda, he's gone for a Midas. And this is like, Loda goes for Midas in every situation, so I'm not really going to talk too much about it because it's just what he does. But I think it actually favors them in this situation
is so fast.
they have a double lane win, and Loda, he does not care. He's just going deep. They have, Eclipse, yep, rest in peace.
Wow.
Very, very strong. Eclipse teleport coming in from way too quick. Quake's here on the side. I think Loda dies.
He doesn't have a TP.
Yeah, Nova's going to hit him, breaks the south. Yeah, he's going to get chased down here for sure. He actually needs to be...
Radiant's top tower
What?
is under
What?
attack.
No
way!
No way did that actually work.
Oh,
Oh, top lane. In the meantime, we're going to be seeing S4 goes in on Fluff. Shockwave going to be there.
gone.
Tried to deny himself. Not going to work. TC, he wants S4, but there's a haste rune, and Loda gets away.
Wow.
Like, what? What?
That's the old give it up Duke. He just stopped running.
They're going to
Just
watch this replay, and they're going to be like, are you kidding
Facepalm.
me? Yeah.
Unbelievable. Liquid needed that.
The
Killing Loda there.
hands-free Duke.
There is no game in which he should have been allowed to live there. Like, that is that is more or less where we're at. So it's 5-2 in favor of Alliance. It's just 8 minutes in. There's already a 3,000 gold lead without a single tower being dropped and 3,000 experience. This is a type of Alliance that I think we were expecting to see. Middle lane in the meantime, Ake. He's going to be throwing out a Chain Frost. Will bounced away to skewer into the tower by S4. And Koikfa drops after the Shockwave. Very nicely done. Teleport. Middle lane, Bulldog comes in. He's got the Sprout. No tangos on way 2. It's a very sad Crystal Maiden.
Yep. There you go.
It hurts. It hurts so much that a single auto attack from Bulldog triggers the red numbers, which only trigger when they deal more than 15% of your life. That's how sad it is.
I've
Well,
got
he's
to give
those phasers,
can I give a shout out to the Hellbear Smasher, because I played a game with my friend Shane this morning, and his Hellbear Smasher did mad work. When it was
call it an
finally
Ursa?
killed, we stood
Call it
around
the tomato.
Tomatoes are good, yeah.
The tomato. Yeah, we all stood over his corpse and said a silent prayer.
He's a strong one.
Yeah, he's the man.
Bova, getting levels.
He's level 4. I don't know if that's really getting levels, man.
He's
Like,
getting them now.
He's sitting down here and he's, are you sure about this? And
Yeah.
I don't think he is sure about it at all.
He's below the CM. That's how bad it's gone for Sam.
Yeah, Ake's level 7.
That's a leech for you.
At middle lane, Ake.
He's gonna die.
Throwing out that
Quite if he
blast.
doesn't be
He
careful.
aggressively blinked. He's still got 8 seconds left. Skewer's going to be there, and they throw out the RP. Hand of God, but I don't think it's enough. Quake for 1 second. Oh, the last auto from Ake. From downtown.
It feels that everything connects with Alliance right now. The
Yeah.
Bulldog paying attention every single time. The misplays from Liquid, they get punished. I was going to say the other word, but I went for punished instead.
Nice save.
Thank you. On the other hand, the mistakes from Alliance, Loda going so aggressive, they don't get punished.
Yeah.
He just gets away with it.
He gets Midas Treads, and TC doesn't have his Orchid yet. He's actually, I mean, he's kind of close, but he's not, he doesn't have it. Like, that's the problem. Because there's already a Midas Treads and a Morbid Mask on Luna, so that's already pretty much...
He will get this tower, though. I don't think there's a way Alliance can defend this right now. They will maybe pop the cliff.
Well, they're here, but S4 is
there's
solo RP.
there's no
Quite
RP.
Yeah.
And there's no Lich ultimate either.
But they have good spam. Ake can just walk up and blast somebody, and it might force him back. There's no Hand of God. Doesn't look like they want it. The deny attempt, not going to work.
Couldn't work. Didn't stomp. I was expecting a center stomp while S4 was trying to deny, but the center dies.
Yeah, but the nice thing is TC gets the last hit, so he'll be much closer to his Orchid because of that. And his CS isn't bad. He's actually the highest right now. But once he gets that Orchid, he has to move. Like, he cannot sit in a lane and farm anywhere anymore. He has to make room for his team, especially picking off things like Prophet. I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons that you take a Klinx in the first place, is to isolate that hero on the map, anticipate his movement. You were talking about perceptive plays earlier. Just do that to Bulldog as much as you can and stop the split push.
And you say not that bad. He was 76 creeps in 10 minutes. If you say not that bad, you'll make people feel insufficient.
But it's just not that bad. It's good.
It's extremely good.
It's good.
Yeah, you do need to work a little bit of positivity. into your
Okay,
lexicon.
he's the best.
He's
I've
amazing.
never seen anyone get 76
76
creeps.
in 10 minutes. How many
in
creeps
10 and 10:30?
No, it was, well, maybe, let's say
It's still
74.
good.
It was 10:30.
Just give him
RP,
some
middle lane,
props.
quick.
Oh,
He's going to be eating Admiral Bulldogs.
he missed one. He missed his time.
With the skewer miss. Unfortunate. Quickfoot's going to be able to walk away.
The skeweren't.
I think you can get 82 maximum.
Yeah, it's 82.
74 out of 82 in a contested lane, not in a free farm.
Yeah, that means he's missed 8 creps.
At the same time, if the Furion used scripts, he could have killed.
given more, right? Which
But
is what I'm assuming happened.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you maybe get like a handful, like maybe 4 or 5 total, right, through the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, but it's still good.
It's not bad.
Give him some props, man.
He's
He will,
farming.
listen to the votes. And
He
be
has
like,
one
oh,
job.
I need to do better.
He has one job.
You know, TC, he's Canadian. He will apologize to you.
He probably would. And now I feel bad
I'm
because
like,
TC
sorry.
is like the nicest guy in the world.
English people are the same.
Yeah.
If we bump into you, we'll say sorry too.
Yeah.
Then we'll headbutt you. That's the other downside.
In the
Depending if you're in
meantime,
a pub or not.
Liquid down here. They got 2, Way 2, and Quakefoot both sitting over here.
They
around
will
loadout.
die to load that clip,
Yeah.
really.
Well, it's only level
they
1,
need
so
this,
it's
but
4
they kind of
beams.
don't want it.
Oh, no, isn't it? Yeah, it is 4 beams.
This,
level 1,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's 4, 7, 10. So they're kind of just chilling. Bulba needs to be careful because
think
if he
Quicker-
does eat an Eclipse, oh, he's got his bottle now. That's what they were waiting
He's
for.
too
But
quick.
Loda casually just walks away. I feel like you kind of don't want to gank with 2 half-health heroes.
No, especially
I'm just
against
getting
Luda.
that, like, you know, maybe you should have healed a little bit more before you went for that.
Klinx is there in the mid lane, but there's a sentry ward. So TC says, I got my Orchid. 12-minute Orchid. Nothing
Well,
bad.
he saw Loda because the skeleton from Fluff scouted him out, but now Loda knows that he's been seen, and now he's starting to very defensively position himself. So I don't
Hey,
think
but
he's
at
gonna
least
be
he's not
dropping
farming
here.
now.
Important thing too to note: S4 Blink Dagger. He's 3-1 right now. He's the 4th highest overall farmer. It's 13 minutes in. If he TPs and they try to dive now with RP, it's going to be really tough.
Yep. And there's nothing that can actually help them in this position because they have to kind of play close to the tower. Klinx attacks the tower, and Chen will have the creeps there, but he will be kind of around. Timbersaw has to be close as well. I don't think they can spread as much and still be efficient as a team. You don't have a guy that can just stay behind like a Windrunner popping power shots or something like that at the moment. Queen of Fane, of course, will want to blink in the middle of everything. So it's all about positioning. Position is the game. And when you have a Timbersaw, you feel safe, but when you have a Blink Magnus, suddenly not so safe anymore.
I just feel so bad for Bulba here because his gold per minute is 160. His net worth is 1,939. He just has not had any kind of start to this game, and I think they need him to get going because he's like their playmaker, right? He's one of their key players, and it's just been a miserable start for him, all because of Venno spitting on him a bunch of times.
Level
It's
1
a hard
poison
life.
sting, man.
It's horrible.
Way to get an invisibility room, maybe they can make something happen. At least getting a kill on EGM might be a little bit better than what they're getting right now.
Well, he's going to find him.
He's gonna be spotted.
The thing is, if he goes on this, he gets scaled, auto-attacked, and Nova'd. He dies.
Block the pull, block. Oh, no, it's not even pull. He's just.
Yeah, he's just doing random EGM things.
Yeah, I don't even know what he did.
What was that?
Checking Roche. The CM is still, well,
He's just checking his,
guys,
making sure his
please,
stinger
didn't
still
notice.
Bulba.
He didn't notice Bulba moving over. This could be a kill. Teleport coming in from Bulldog. Oh, he cancels.
Oh,
Ultimate
boy,
from
they
Way
need
2
this.
as well. EGM is going to be dropping.
Ow, that
Chakram
hurts.
gets the kill, and now Way 2 has to go to base. He is covered right now in all sorts of poison. All sorts of nasty bits. He wants to go for Bulba. Nice block. Chakram going to eat the trees, though. Hand of God's going to be used as well. I think Bulba might be able to get away.
Yeah,
S4
he
has
gets
that
away
blink,
here.
though. Is he going to skewer in for the RP? Goes right for Bulba. Doesn't even need the RP.
No, just a punch,
Just a
and it's
shockwave.
going to be fine. Now S4 has little health because he took a little bit of Whirling Death to his face, but now he's back to 1100.
What's TC up to? He's going to go the old round the back on Aki.
Oh no, Ake getting caught out by that Orchid Clanks. I think he dies to the
Yeah, he
Orchid.
does.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
TC knows about that, so that's what he's stopping.
Oh, double TP coming in,
fine.
S4. I think he actually TP'd second. Yeah, so Loda's going to be TCing in first. A bit of miscommunication.
Loda wanted to farm.
Yeah, but S4 could have gotten the kill if he was the first TP, maybe. Maybe.
Did they have detection? Did S4 have detection?
Oh, maybe not. No, I didn't. Okay,
Yeah.
so they don't get the kill either way.
It's fine. S4 going back to farming, EGM going back to just walking around being a banana. Leech sitting in the fountain.
He's a wood slug, man.
You really need to ripen your bananas if they look like Venno, I tell you what.
You know when the banana get like these black spots?
Yeah.
That's
But he's green, isn't he? He's not
Well,
yellow.
Underripe bananas are
underripe
green.
banana.
Yeah, he's like an underripe banana.
He's kind of
bruised up.
yellowy at some point. Like close
I
to
wouldn't eat him.
Depending on how the light hits him.
I'm not eating that banana.
I just put my bananas in the blender anyway.
Dire's middle tower.
I don't really
I
care
kill
if
my
they're green or
bananas,
not.
so I don't care about the color of their skin. Come on, are you
Whoa,
banana
come on.
racist?
Really? Come on. Even the briefcase stapler conversation had better connotation than this. Come on.
It's heading down, isn't it? Into
Yeah.
the well.
Loda getting all that farm from the Ancients right now. And if you're Loda, you go for a VKB, you go for a Dominator after your Midas.
Ooh, TC's going to spot him.
Would that be enough?
There are 3 here, though. There is no way he can go
TC
on this by
run.
himself. I'm actually surprised he walked up that hill because it is super common to have a sentry there. And he is lucky that Ake didn't just have the sentry there because S4 for sure would have blink and RP'd for TC. It's worth it at this point.
Just trying to think. What can Liquid do? And feels like Alliance has the initiative here.
Yeah, they
The
do
Queen
for
of
sure.
Pain is completely inconsequential at this point in the game. It's not a Queen of Pain that gets 3 or 4 kills and just... he has 4 deaths, 1 kill, threats and bottle. That's it. Not even saved money. Bulba, we talked about Bulba a lot. TC is getting everything, but he's a Clinks. He can get pick-offs, but not against these heroes once they start pushing. And he hasn't found the pick-off because EGM and Aki has been defending and protecting all the heroes that needed defending. So TC pretty much stopped farming for quite a while, and now he's trying to get kills. He isn't getting them. He's not getting any farm. It's only getting worse and worse for him.
Well, I mean, you say that, but he's still the highest CS on the map. The only difference between him and Loda is, well, Loda's team has an extra tower, and he has a Midas. So he will get behind. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think it's necessarily as pressing at this particular stage in the game. The later it goes, it will get worse because of Bulldog.
They're doing Roche.
For now, yeah, they're doing Roche, and they have to. But I'm fairly certain that Alliance know about this. And with a Blink RP, a Chain Frost, and a Poison Nova,
It's not
Admiral
gonna be
Bulldog's
pretty.
ulti, it is
Very slow rush.
so hard for Liquid to fight in this situation. And they're going to be walking over.
So why did they go in for that? Because they just thought maybe
Well, they have to
Alliance
do
won't
something.
notice, or
It's not about noticing or not. Bottom lane, Bulldog, he gets Orchid here. I think he might be able to just sprout himself. He doesn't ulti. Quick just doesn't. I think that would have killed him, actually, if he had screamed at the last second. Or just blink in, 1 auto attack, 1 ulti, 1 kill.
I don't know. Feels that Liquid are not sure of themselves right now. It's when you start hesitating. No, I think they're much stronger than I really think, or than they really are. And you can't really measure as well just because you feel you're behind. And you want to play it safe. If he spoils the scrim right now, Russian would be entirely in Alliance's favor because that's the skill that might turn the tide in their favor.
Chen's entire army just got killed. And for what?
Well, I mean, he wants Vision to know how low Roshan is, I guess, if they're going to try to take you an engagement. Quake's here on the high ground.
Oh,
There's an Orchid onto S4. Are they going to be able to burst him down fast enough? TC is just already out of here. S4, he goes in. Tokyo Drift, solo RP on way to the Chain Frost doing absolute work, fluffing stuff, now trying to retreat to the high ground. There's 3 down on the side of Team Liquid. Quakefa, he's forced to blink away. Oh man, that was a disaster. Loda got the Aegis as well. That is not good if you're Team Liquid.
Everything went wrong for them right there. They used all their spells, but Ake, with that Chain Frost, it bounced so many times. And that's perfect because for a Roshan fight, you don't have any creeps around you. Chen, as Prior mentioned before, has had all of his creeps killed. Suddenly there were no other places to bounce than the heroes themselves. And because of the nature of the Roshan pit, everyone was so close to each other that he got 2 kills just straight out of that.
But that's why I think like even going down there was like...
But if you
it's
don't,
always going to be bad.
If you don't fight that though,
right? They get Roche.
They get Roshan for free,
right.
and then you're defending a push in still
but
relative
you're all
close
alive.
proximity.
This way they almost lost. Like Prophet went top, 3 of them died, and they gave up Roche as well. Like I don't quite understand it. I think you can contest it, but if you're up against RP, Chain Frost, the Lunar ult, the midnight, no, the Eclipse thing, right? And Venos ult and Prophet ult. What are you doing? You're never going to win that fight.
Well, the problem with that logic is that at the beginning of the game was supposed to go differently for Liquid. So we're now basing all of our assumptions on the fact that Alliance in the now have the advantage, but you're absolutely right about that. But the thing that we're not taking into account is Liquid picked a team that has a different purpose. It's not for close quarters combat, it's for trying to win the laning phase in a big way and make a transition into a mid game. But now they have a relatively immobile team, because even though Clinks can run fast and Queen can blink, they need more than just those two to try to secure kills due to the nature of Alliance's playstyle right now, which is kind of stay together, fight as 5. And they can't use what kind of team they've put together because the laning phase went bad. TC can't find any picks on his own. Loda went Midas, so he's going to get more and more ahead on farm. Everything's kind of just falling apart for Liquid.
But so how does that go with the Roshan contest?
Because if they had a better early game, they get Roshan without Alliance being able to contest them because they're ahead.
Okay.
Because they're supposed to be ahead by this stage in the game, but because they're not, and Alliance have what you would consider maybe a combo.
TC is going to get...
Yeah. Maybe TC.
Oh, wow.
RP going to be dropped. They don't... Do they have detection?
They have detection.
Oh, they do now. Bulldog teleports in. Sentry going to be dropped. That is a very dead Clinks. And it's totally worth it for them to drop an RP for TC because he's the only physical damage threat right now.
And they get a tower off it too.
Yeah.
He's the only one that can actually do something for Alliance right now. As I said before, the Queen of Pain doesn't have much. The Timbers had a horrible early game, so they, by themselves, they don't have enough damage to actually annoy them. With the mech already on Alliance, pretty much offsets all of the burst that Liquid can provide right now. Liquid, they can't fight 5v5. They can't split push as effectively as Alliance. They are kind of relying on luck right now, on getting a good initiation. But again, Alliance's initiation is so much better than theirs.
Yeah, it is for sure.
They even have counter initiation in the sense of Eclipse if you jump on me, RP if you jump on me, and Admiral Bulldog that can TP where you're going to. So you can't really initiate properly against Alliance.
They've just got 2 towers, by the way.
Well, it's 22 minutes in, and the Luna has a tremendous amount of farm. Bulldog's got Orchid, Mech, Midas, 2,000 gold, so they have enough physical damage to where now they start winning team fights and they push a heck of a lot harder, and that's not even counting Lunar Blessing, which gives you even more push potential, 38 bonus damage, and Empower. So Alliance have picked a team that has very good synergy, and we said at the beginning of the game that if they get to that mid game and they're not really EGM getting lit up here, I think he might be fine.
He'll be okay. He'll be okay.
He's not going to be dying to that. Another BKB purchase, this time Queen of Pain on the side of Team Liquid.
I understand going for a BKB because you need to survive, but I still think that Queen of Pain doesn't provide much. She will be able to blink, use her spells, and that will be a mech usage.
You know what I want to throw out there for both of you guys, and you take this, you know, whichever way you want.
Go on.
If they aggressive tri-lane, Liquid are in a way better spot this game.
Oh yes, 100% sure. 100% sure. Imagine how they would have gotten so much more in that lane against the Luna that Timbers have got nothing. And just those rotations from Crystal Maiden and Chen in the jungle just weren't there. They didn't accomplish much against the Furion. They didn't accomplish much against Magnus. And they could have done something against the Luna.
The biggest thing for me is, well, Loda's going to get bitten inside of the base, but he does have an Aegis. There's not really much to say right now if you're a Liquid fan, other than the lanes didn't go favorably for them. The team fight's just not going so well. EGM, he's going to throw out the feed, double RP on TC and Fluff. Here comes the Skewer back in. Loda, it's going to be popped, Chain Frost, and an ulti actually hits on 3 there by Koikva. S4 forced about the BKB, and now he's going to pop a BKB and die to a glaive bounce as Bulbit drops as well. There's 2 down actually on the side of Alliance, but Bulldog, he just buys back straight away because he has the money. Hala Hala Gitala, and this is most likely going to be the Mailer Axe, but it's backdoor protected right now. They need to wait for the next creep wave. This is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Awkward.
And Loda can't dominate the creep, so that does work, right? You dominate the creep, the backdoor protection goes away. Yeah,
that's nice.
And Liquid just fell on GG. So 24 minutes in, I'm not really surprised to see that, but for me, the lanes, I thought if you aggressive tri-lane, at the very least you force Ake to stay bottom. And that's what you want. You don't want Ake sitting on Koikva mid the whole time, because that's a matchup that you pick specifically to win. And then Alliance totally dismantle it because they see the tri-lane dodge. They know they don't have to put anyone else besides the Venomancer bottom. Lich is free to get solo experience mid from every single sacrifice. The Queen gets far less. And then you're putting all the weight of the game on TC, and it just didn't work.
I like that. Alliance gets his third win of the tournament, I think.
Yes. They were 2-1, now they're 3-1.
They're 3-1.
Yeah.
And with that, they get really, really close to Fnatic. But okay.
Close, but not close enough.
They
If
will
you
have
think
a
about it
rematch.
this way, Fnatic's ratio is infinitely better than theirs right now because they don't have a loss.
They're like 100%.
No, a
Way more.
million,
Like
billion,
literally,
zillion.
No matter how big a number, it's still better.
Yeah, and it also means that now Team Liquid have lost both of their first game, both
Both of the first games.
Yeah, exactly. 2 games, which are their first set of games, but their first set of games against tough opponents coming into this, which were Alliance and also Na'Vi. So it's not unexpected, but how do you feel their performance was overall in the 2 matches? Well, at least this one, if we're going to talk about today.
This one, I feel like they fell a little bit short. I thought when they played against Na'Vi, they had a much more concise game plan and they executed better. Their team fighting was less sloppy. Today, I feel like they got outlaned, they got outplayed. I don't want to say outdrafted because if I feel they put an aggressive try line, it still would have been a lot better. But their decision-making overall just felt a little bit lackluster.
All right, well, we will go to a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about what Andy just said. I want to go into what would have happened if the tri-lane went their way, how they could have got something more on their Queen of Pain mid, and how annoying Lich is. Pyrion Flax can take that whole conversation by himself. And of course, when we come back as well, we'll be starting our second game, which will be Na'Vi versus Virtus Pro. So more games coming up here at the ASUS ROG Dream League. See you in just a moment.
Extend your command precision with an 8200 DPI Pro Aim R3 laser sensor. Extend your command capability with exclusive Easy Shift button duplicator technology. Extend your atmospherics with a fully customizable 4-LED multicolor lighting system. Extend the life and accuracy of your gaming with the Rocket Titan wheel, the Cone XTD Max Customization Gaming Mouse.
There's something building in the air. I can feel it. I can feel it. It it's pressing down on me and I can barely breathe. Oh, can you feel it? And I'm surrounded everywhere. I can feel it, I can feel it. It's creeping up on me, but what I just can't see. Or say you feel it. I'm falling into this unknown. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? There's nothing I can do but to give in to the left me helpless, wanting more. But just as quickly as it came, it disappears and I'm left flying on the floor. But I still feel it.
Back to the ASUS ROG Dream League. We just saw Team Liquid and Alliance play. It was Alliance that came out victorious, and we're going to go into some post-game analysis, but I really think the only thing we can talk about was Why were they sending their heroes where they sent them?
That was my biggest question as well. I felt like...
I mean, to break it down quickly, I'll just do it. Okay, basically, they had the Queen of Pain mid. They had TC on the safe lane with Crystal Maiden and also Fluff and Stuff on Chen in the jungle. And then in the off lane, they had Bulba playing the Timbersaw, right? That's how they decided to lane it, which essentially meant the dual lane middle, Lich plus S4 on the Magnus, destroyed mid. And the safe lane, EGM took Bulba out of the game, and Loda got absolute free farm. And TC, sure, with 2 members backing him up, he was able to get a decent amount of farm, but the rest of his team weren't able to do so. They lost the Queen of Pain, Koiva mid quite a few times. Bulba didn't get anything. And Andy, you said if they had turned up like this, it would have gone awesome. So explain this.
Okay, so let's go lane by lane. First, we'll start top. You said that they started off with the Chen in their jungle, which was right, and then TC was there. So here's the biggest problem with that. You're laning against a Prophet. How does a Klinx and a Chen gank ever kill a Prophet? Because he can just teleport away. You don't have anything to stop
Crystal
him.
Maiden.
They have a CM, but the thing is, he wasn't really in a position because what they did is they went behind the tier 1 and they tried to gank him that way. That will literally never work against that hero. He's just going to get away every time. So you have one lane who's getting more than Bulba's getting in the offlane because, like you said, EGM just deleted him from the game. Now we have mid. Problem number 2. The lane's already losing. You picked a Queen to win that lane against the Magnus, and not just win it, like smash him into the ground, right?
Yeah,
like
Queen
you don't
will
want him
smash Magnus.
Get
That's
anything.
True.
So now the Lich is there with the Magnus. The Chen CM can't really gank that lane either because the Chen is not going to be able to line up anything like a Stomp, and S4 can just skewer away. Ake is never going to be out of position because he's a Lich, and all he has to do is walk back and sacrifice creeps.
In TL's one defense there, they did manage to kill S4 and also, I believe, Ake once when they came in.
Yeah, but
that was after everything was already going bad. So it was kind of like, it wasn't so much cherry on the cake. It was like, here's just a cherry.
So
there is no
here's
cake.
a question then. Given that, the very first thing we saw Timbersaw do was walk into lane and get wrecked by Venomancer. At what point did he think, well, this must improve if I just carry on doing the same thing? Why not just say, right then, this isn't working, guys, swap the lanes around?
Well, first off, if they swap the lanes then all Alliance have to do is react after the fact, because if you're the first one to move, you're most of the time in that kind of situation, you're actually at a disadvantage because you've already wasted time. But there are some situations where it could be better. This was not one of them. The biggest problem too is that if you bring the Chen, he is a very immobile hero. He has to bring all his creeps with him wherever he goes, which is why you actually see a heck of a lot less Chen play, because Chen is not the one who really wants to move everywhere. You move maximum between 2 lanes.
Right.
You'd very rarely run all the way across the map, and you try to capitalize on those lanes, and I said it.
Yeah,
I was the first
but
one
even then,
I
just
broke.
having someone ranged that can help him just keep the Venom at a distance.
I mean, at minimum, bringing the CM down as a kind of contingency plan would have helped him out enough, because the burst damage from the Timbersaw is quite a lot on EGM. And even though EGM did get some level advantages, despite being in a dual lane against a single hero, having one CM there locking him in place, it's like Timber Chain plus Whirling Blades, I believe it's called.
Whirling Death.
Whirling Death, yeah. Would have potentially been EGM's death.
Right.
I agree with Piran on that, but if they were to start how they should have started, is that where you want to go?
No, go ahead. Go on. I have no. Just
he wants
I want to wrap your thought, but you need to wrap your thought so I can go into mine, because it makes sense. I read your mind already. I know what you're going to say.
Good luck with that. See you later.
So, after what he said, based on their performance, the other question, we were talking about the lanes, and we were talking about how the lanes could have been better. Couldn't the players have been in different heroes, and would that have made a difference? Because we normally see Bulba playing the mid position, although he can play the offlane, and Koiva playing the offlane.
Maybe Koiva's just inexperienced in Timbersaw, because I know Bulba plays Queen. Like, you have to play Queen if you're a mid player. That's just one of the heroes that's in your arsenal. So I think with the game plan that they had in mind, they just did it because the players are more comfortable on those respective heroes. I mean, didn't feel Koiva
was comfortable in that Queen of Pain.
Yeah, he died really
He blinked aggressively against Magnus and Lich several times.
Individual performance, though. I mean, this is like the first time where I've really seen him be out of sorts. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time he's really solid and he doesn't make those kinds of mistakes. So maybe this was just a bad game for him. I can maybe chalk it up to just that. But aggressive tri-lane, man. Like, Ake would not have been able to sit mid and justify it in that position, because Loda would have gotten absolutely crushed. Even though you say to yourself, yeah, trailing Clinks doesn't really seem that good, not a lot of levels, he will free farm.
Yeah.
And Loda will get nothing.
The harass damage as well. So by aggressive tri lane, he basically means instead of Bulba being on the off lane, you stick Bulba on the safe lane, on the Timbersaw, which would have gone up versus the Furin, that would have been fine. You bring down the Clinks and the CM and also the Chen if you want to pick up some creeps in the jungle. Essentially, CM will be able to babysit you. She's very good in a lane, just harass damage. And also Clinks, a huge amount of harass damage as well, and longer range on that hero rather than the Luna that Loda was playing. So Loda wouldn't have got anything, and I agree, because Ake would have to have left mid. And if he left mid, then mid would have gone back in Queen of Pain's favor, because Queen of Pain should beat Magnus. So it seems to me we can wrap it up there, because Team Liquid really didn't get the start they wanted. They went to the wrong lanes, I would say, and they didn't react properly, and Alliance outplayed them from there on in. So not much more to say about that, but Team Liquid are now 0-2, Alliance are 3-1, but we weren't expecting Team Liquid to exactly win that game, and they will have some tougher challenges even later as they will play them again. But of course now, they're going to be looking at the other teams to try and get potentially third, fourth place with this kind of start. You know, everybody wants to get first. They can do it.
Right now, I mean, Navi is a strong team. They feel really strong, even though they dropped a couple games.
Yeah.
Alliance is Alliance. But with Fnatic there, it feels that for Liquid, EG, and BP, they kind of are battling for that fourth spot within those three teams. Even though it's really early, it's just the third day of the league.
Yeah, each team will have to play 10 games, and we're only got our max four teams Alliance have played so far. So we'll wrap it up there for the post game, which means we'll be getting into the next match, which will be Na'Vi versus Virtus Pro.